Ready to go? Alrighty, let's gavel back up for work session and without further ado, I'll probably turn over to Rob.
It's great to be back with you all, and thank you for having us. And so we basically have a training and answer any questions you have with this next part of the search. So we're just gonna go through slides because the slides cover all the information, and we'll get started. This is my colleague Kathy. She's along to help and support, and Brian as well. And meet the new person, Robert. If you have being a board member, and hopefully you'll get an email address real soon. Yeah. Okay, so just where we're at in the. Okay, so I'm just gonna advance, but not advanced yet.
That's weird.
Okay. Screen sharing with thoughts. There's a button that says resume share.
There you go.
But we're not working. I'm gonna go this way. Just make the slides bigger. Okay. There we go. Okay, so where we're at in the application close for the position closed yesterday on the 12th. And the screening committee, the next step is for the screening committee to assess applications virtually and then provide that information to the school board, you all. And then you're gonna meet next time all together on May 23rd. That's gonna be executive session. And during that executive session, you're gonna review all the data from the screening committee and then decide who to invite to the first round of interviews. Okay, so if you are, when you sign the confidentiality agreement, you'll also have access to all files and you'll be able to review the applications as well, in addition to the screening committee. So we're gonna present to the board a slate of 11 people to be on the screening committee. So if you vote to approve them to be participate, then you'll have a good group of people that will be looking at these applications and helping provide information about who to invite for interviews. So remember, this is a confidential process. That means a lot of these candidates are apply with the sense that it's gonna be confidential. Their name won't necessarily get out unless they make it to the final. So the agreement is, as you sign that agreement, is that you can discuss the candidates with each other and with people on the screening committee. You can discuss them with us. But though that's the extent of discussion at this point until the process advances, okay? I don't know if either of you want to say anything about that, how important that confidentiality piece is.
Yeah, some of the applicants, you know, of course, you're going to interview maybe 5 or 6. But these people most of them are working and it may not reflect well on them, which is why you want to keep it confidential. And then when you select the final 2 or 3, of course, you know, then word gets out, but it's really, really important to keep it confidential until then.
Okay, so round 1 interview, we've got scheduled for May 30th. So that's a Thursday. So we want you to have your calendars clear on that day for those interviews, or at least, you know, I think we need to decide, you know, do you want to go morning, afternoons, afternoon, evening? You know, if there's a preference, then it would be good for us to know that right now, so we can start thinking about that. I know schedules are crazy this time of year, but, and.
I just took vacation that day. I literally, earlier today.
So is that a good or bad thing?
No, that's good. I was just gonna catch up at home, but apparently I didn't.
Yeah.
I'll take it
Now,
out.
we could do those Zoom, but I think it's good to, bring people in, you get a different feel for people when they're face to face. And the majority of the candidates are all within drivable distance of the district, so, I think it's we recommend in person for that first round. That would be, confidential process that one, but. And you probably interview, depending on how the screening goes, 5 to 7 people. Okay. So that would happen the 30th, and then. You would select who advances to the finals, and that would be June 6th. And then we would organize activities on June 6th so that your community gets multiple interactions with these candidates. And that would include, a community forum where they present who they are as a leader, tours through the schools so that staff can interact with the people and give feedback, and then a final interview as well. So there'll be multiple opportunities to interact. Some boards, they also like to visit where these finalists like their location and do some interviewing like that. And if that's an activity that you want to work into the process, it'll extend, right now we have this target end date for June 10th, I think. So the 6th for the visitation, but the board meeting on the 10th.
Right.
So if you want to engage in some of that other deeper level where you're going to another community and learning about the candidate, then we can arrange that. Just need to know that, because we would probably try to arrange that either after the 6th or before. So sometimes it's, like a board will send, 2 people to go and get a tour through someone's, workplace and ask the people that they work with them with, all that. So that's another level.
So we'll also, on the 23rd, we'll bring you some questions that would be appropriate for the first round of interviews. And what we'll do is we'll look at the data collected through the surveys and from like our conversations, and select maybe 5 to 6 questions, 5 to 7 questions, to present to you to make it a little easier, because, there's thousands of questions, based on what you guys are looking for. And then we can make modifications then and use that as a working document. If that's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you review the files and, be thinking about what are some questions that you might want to ask, and then that.
I think I have some of that from
Yeah.
when I interviewed them.
Yeah, so there's that. So I'm gonna just do a little reminder of our decision-making process that we're using. So the first helpful frame, what's the problem we're trying to solve? That's trying to hire a superintendent before, by June 10th, right? The values is all the information we gathered both when we interviewed you and talked with you folks, and also from the survey. So we have that. This next portion of the search is creative alternatives. That's when you're looking at all the different people that you get to pick from. And then useful information. And the useful information is information in their cover letter, in their resume, in the letters of rec, in how they answered the questions. And then plus the information that we're gonna be able to bring to you as well. So that's the section that we're in right now. And then we'll finish with, as you think through your choices, and then make a commitment at the end to pick someone. So that's the process we're using. And a few things about this process is the process that's designed fits the decision problem. In other words, this is you only get to hire one person. So, and every decision's a risk. And so what we're trying to do by taking you through a thorough process is trying to eliminate as much risk as possible so that the person you hire, you feel good about, and it makes sense, and has a best chance for success. So we like to involve decision makers, so we and stakeholders, and that's why the screening committee is gonna be involved, and you'll also get feedback from folks on that final day. That will improve the effectiveness of your decision, and the quality of decisions always made at the time of the decision. So we want to put all our effort into that moment so that we have the best chance for a good outcome. Okay. Nothing's guaranteed. All decisions involve risk because you never know, what things can happen. But our goal through this process is to mitigate that risk and improve the quality of that decision. So if we look at how this is organized, you have your decision board, which is you. You're the ones that are making this decision. This is your job. And the working team, we're the working team. The screeners are the working team. The people that are gonna give you feedback on these candidates all help inform your decision. So we kind of go back and forth between decision board and working team, and that's how we try to get to a good decision. Anything else? Brian? No. Feeling good? All right. So this is the feedback that came through when I asked for the slate of candidates and you gave the feedback, and this is the list in alphabetical order. And so this list, as you can see, is balanced. It has representation from all aspects of people that completed the survey, with the majority being parent and community, and teachers, classified administrators. So if this slate looks good, we would need a motion to approve, a second, any discussion, and then a vote. I am happy to answer any questions about this screening document. You're looking at your list there of all the different people, so.
Will we be receiving a copy of that?
Yes, yeah,
Okay, I'm not gonna write it
Yeah.
down.
yeah, you'll get, when I send out emails, like I'm gonna send out an invite to Wednesday, the training. And it'll have all your names on it as CC'd, and then all those people, so you'll have all their names and emails. And on Wednesday, it's not slated as an executive session, so we can have 3 board members attend and watch. If more than 3 want to attend on Wednesday, we can notice it as an executive session. And then more than we can.
Is this too many? Is this supposed to be
No,
not big enough?
it's good,
Okay.
it's a good number because one, you had a lot of people interested in
Yeah.
participating, right? You had
Mhm.
like over 30 originally interested, and then I sent all those people, this is the job, because it's gonna be a lot of work, right? And these are the meetings you have to come to, and then if you still wanna participate, reply and give your reason. And so everyone who turned in a reason is what you have there. So the
Okay.
list went from 30 to 22 and now to 11. So I think this is a good number to have because it represents everyone, and, if there wasn't a lot of interest in your community, that'd be one thing, but there is. So,
Sure is, yeah.
All right, I will make a motion that we approve the screening committee, the 11 as shown.
I'll second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion?
I would just add a point that the conversation that you have with us about the criticalness of people who are still in the role.
Yeah.
Be well firm with
Yeah.
community members, because they might not realize how much this could potentially jeopardize the future.
Yes,
For those
they're
people.
just like you received a confidentiality notice, they're gonna get that as well, and they won't get any documents if they sign that. And then, on Wednesday, when we do the training, then they'll have access, so.
Okay, so it'll be after the training, they'll have access to that document, so that they'll be aware. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And if for some reason someone can't make it, I can meet with them individually and go over things. We'll also
Yeah.
record it on Wednesday. We can send them the recording. So,
Perfect.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor of screening process as presented, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Awesome. That gives you direction forward and.
Yay.
There you go. So
It's more work for you.
these folks,
Yeah.
these folks are gonna email tonight, so, get the process started. Now, curious about Wednesday, is there more than 3 people that would like to attend? I mean, that's fine, we can accommodate, we just need to notice it as an executive session.
What time is it?
It's at 7, it's a Zoom training,
In the evening?
Oh,
It's a Zoom training.
Zoom training.
Yeah,
I'd like to attend.
It's good for the screening committee to know that board members are like observing what's going on and things like that.
Well, I think we need training too, don't we?
Yeah, I'm gonna do training with you now, tonight, so you'll have the training.
Oh, so it'll be a repeat of Wednesday?
I could probably log in on Wednesday.
But I don't need. I will if you need a face
Yeah.
on there, but.
We just need to know if it's gonna be 3 or
More than.
more
three.
than 3.
Oh, okay.
So that's why
I'm not gonna be on camera.
Okay.
you don't have to be on there.
Yeah, straight up.
Wednesday night?
Wednesday evening, yeah.
7 o'clock.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay,
I will be there.
okay, so some people will have 3 or less, so that's good.
I
Aye.
have Crystal,
We'll be there.
I don't have to be there.
okay,
It's up to you.
Heidi, yes or no?
No,
No.
Crystal can represent us
Merle,
strong.
no.
Okay,
Kelsey, yes, no?
Not if we're doing it.
yeah,
tonight,
okay.
yeah.
So
Jenny,
that's good.
I mean, if I trust Crystal to represent us.
Yeah, but
in the-
if there's 3, you and,
Yeah,
I mean, if you guys
but we're
are,
already receiving it tonight,
yeah,
so
I mean.
what's the weather like? I might be more than
I hear you, I hear you.
Somebody come blow my own.
So let me ask you a little
Yeah.
bit about the process. So from a collaborative nature on our screeners.
Right,
Are they gonna fill out a form? How are they gonna give us feedback, I
yeah,
guess?
the.
Cause that's what I would be interested in.
Right.
Wednesday,
I'm gonna.
if that's my only option to get feedback from them, I
No, no,
probably would like
no,
to be
they-
there, but
When, this first Wednesday is the training,
sure.
then they're
Then
gonna
we have
meet
to-
again the following Wednesday on the 22nd. And that's when they'll have completed their screener,
Mhm.
which is a document I'll show you tonight.
Okay.
And they will discuss like what they learned, what they thought, who their favorites were. And that's a good meeting as well to attend, just to listen to their conversation.
Yeah, that to
So-
me is
What
really
day is
important,
that?
so.
The 22nd.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have that.
So,
Is that Zoom as well?
that is Zoom as well, those two, that's Zoom.
What time does the meeting on the 22nd start?
7, they'll both start at 7.
I'm holding times, so I don't.
Yeah,
overbook
and
myself.
when I send the email out, it'll have all this on there, so.
Okay.
Okay.
so-
I didn't mean to get you off. on a
No, no,
tangent. I
no,
just,
it's a great question.
I just kind of wanted to know,
Yeah.
you know, what your look on the process is gonna
Yeah.
be.
Can I ask you a
Yeah.
question about the 22nd?
Mhm.
So, so to be clear, that's when the whole screening committee meets and we discuss individual names.
Yeah, candidates and how they were scored and whether or not they're in favor of who moving forward and why.
And why do we do that on Zoom? Why wouldn't we do that in person?
It could be done in person, it could, a lot of times just convenience in terms of like, for people to get together.
I just think we get more out of it when we can have when we can be face to face and,
Yeah.
cause you can read people better, understanding how comfortable they are with, things and
Yeah, we can pivot on
it's
that.
probably you're out of your way, but
Yeah, no, we can come down here on the 22nd. In person is better.
I'm open. I'm just,
Yeah.
it's however the board feels, but I'm just.
I would agree with that. I think at least for the community members and the, like the committee, I guess, is
Yeah.
the correct term, to be in person, I would agree with that. I wouldn't have a problem if they wanted to Zoom in.
Yeah, that's what, it almost like you'd have to have like a duel like we have, because some of the screening members may not be able to attend.
Yeah,
So we also wanna keep that
like
open.
maybe as an option
Yeah.
to attend in person or via Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, we're really only asking them to come to one meeting. which would be that night.
The 22nd.
Yeah, so, I mean, they could zoom in too, I'm just saying.
Well, and with the number that we just slated,
People.
yeah, if somebody really truly cannot make it, if there's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it's also a lot of people to have a lot of conversation with too.
Yeah,
You could
plan
on a really, really long event.
Yeah, but it's a
Well, it's
pretty
like
important
longer
decision.
for in person.
But
Yeah.
we'll have all of the data that they completed, so people, it's not that you're coming in cold.
Right.
You'll have, like, what usually happens in this process is the process sorts out people kind of into
Yeah.
3 different tiers, like people we really wanna talk to, people we're not really sure about, and then people that
That's right.
don't really make the cut. So,
It's pretty simple.
yeah, so sometimes it goes amazingly fast.
Yeah.
Because it's so apparent. But it, you know, it's always different, but you usually see kind of 3 different tiers.
But then the board makes the final
The
decision.
board make the final decision. So if we came down here, and then we're just kind of talking process, but if we came down for a meeting here and we invited everyone, and then if they couldn't make it, they could come on and, you know, participate via Zoom. Have that conversation with the screeners, then we could dismiss them, and then the board could decide that night who goes forward, and then you're saving yourself another meeting the next night.
Oh, that's nice.
That makes sense too.
And that would be an executive session
Yeah,
afterwards?
it would have to be, yeah, it would be executive session. Well, if there are more than 4 of you are in a meeting talking
Yeah.
about business, it's the whole thing's executive session.
But it'd be closed
It would be closed.
to everyone else. The board could have frank discussion
Yeah.
and it'd be only the board in the
Yeah.
room.
People in,
That makes sense.
is that
Yeah.
possible?
Yeah, actually, that's a
Well,
good idea.
here's my,
Meeting for you.
here's my caveat to that. I would almost say no Zoom option. Because you don't really know like who else is in the room
Yeah, it's
for a
true.
privacy piece.
You're right.
I kind of hope though, if they've signed an NDA, they're on their honor.
You kind of hope that.
You hope
But-
so, but
To guarantee, if it was in person and if someone couldn't make it, we at least have their data because they've done the screener. So,
Yeah, I like.
What do you guys think? They're on the committee. You okay with in person?
Okay, personally, I get food.
That could be arranged.
Isn't it at 7? That's like almost bedtime this past.
Yeah, that's awkward for you guys.
I will make sure there's some snacks there.
we can move it up to 6.
Oh, wait.
I'll put it on there. What day is that? I'll make sure you have some snacks.
22nd.
22nd?
Appreciative.
All right.
Do we wanna give people one more day, like make it Thursday? I don't know if what days are better, Thursday or Wednesday, but.
Do you guys have a preference? I just want the board to be able to have a conversation in private.
If we can dismiss the folks and have the board make the
For
final
some
call.
reason, I have on my calendar, we have an executive session at 9 AM on Thursday, but is that because we would be having it after this meeting? Was that what the idea was, that we were gonna have our executive session the next day to finalize the?
At 9 AM?
At 9 AM.
That's what I have on my calendar, I don't know.
No,
I have
Yeah.
7 PM.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
we
that-
have-
maybe that's right, probably just put it on. I'm good with either. But you-
yes, it does say 5.
Yeah, I think in person.
Jan, I put
What about
bring
you?
snacks.
Yeah, then they can do
Robert,
the executive
just 'cause I don't
session
feel
right after they
Yeah.
select the
Are you
candidate.
available,
I hear you.
Save them the
are you
day.
available May 22nd or 23rd? Are you available May 22nd or 23rd? Is there a better day for you?
If it's in the evening, I can make it in.
Okay.
So we would be here for the meeting, screening meeting, and then stay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We would
Yeah.
have to have a duration.
Mhm.
so it'd just be a big executive
23rd
session.
would be better for me, but I'll do it on the.
Yeah, let's go
I
23rd
can
at
do
6.
it any.
23rd?
22nd.
Yeah, 23rd would be better, is that what you said?
Yeah.
So 23rd at 6 rather than 7?
Wait a minute.
What?
But you told all those, you're gonna tell all those people.
Yeah, I haven't told them anything.
Oh,
But when they signed up, they were under the impression.
That's true.
it was on the
Yeah.
23rd.
the The 22nd, they have the date.
To change it, I don't.
Yeah.
Carol, can you make the 22nd?
Yeah, I can do
Okay.
I'll bring you Grace
Good
and
call.
the peonies I have.
No, that's what I thought it was in the.
Collaborative work.
So no executive session on the 23rd, only on the 22nd.
22nd, yeah, so we'll need
Got it.
Diane to notice that.
Oh, there she is. I don't-
One, I can't hardly hear,
it. That's changed.
to me, our people are talking at the same time,
Sorry.
but my hand has been up for a long time.
Oh.
It's not showing.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't mean to come in and just interrupt, but if we're gonna go back to the 22nd, I need to know if there's gonna be 4 more there. It is now a public meeting. You have to offer it Zoom option.
Oh, you do?
Oh, okay.
No, it's, I thought you said executive session,
Executive session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because we're discussing.
Yeah, because we're discussing candidates.
So on the 22nd though,
Yeah,
Yes.
so you are,
candidates are in executive
are you
session.
gonna be in the screening part of it? The training?
They're gonna do the screening training tonight.
They won't be at the screening.
Okay, so you will be at. the
There's only one of us,
There's
me,
only, yeah,
that will be there. But on the 22nd, we're talking about all of our candidates and that has to be an executive session.
Correct,
Yeah.
right.
but did I hear you say that you think that we should not offer a Zoom option
Yeah.
Do we have to?
to the
option?
screen or to the
No,
screening
it was,
committee?
it was to the executive session portion of it.
It's
Cause we
all-
said, can we
I see.
offer
Okay,
it? So it's only that piece.
okay, my bad. I'm like,
No.
oh, wait.
We were bouncing around, we were bouncing around. That's the spot that it was.
So the.
Freaking you out, huh?
It was.
No.
No.
So the 22nd is an executive session.
Yep.
The screening
Yes.
committee will be here and the board.
Everyone will be
Everybody
together
will be together
Discussing the candidates.
discussing the candidates on the 22nd. So
That's
that'll,
what I just asked, so that changes things.
What does it change?
how does that change?
Well, if the board and the committee are gonna be discussing the candidates, are you talking about in executive session?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're inviting the whole.
Yes,
Yes.
2 executive sessions.
To executive session, not just the board.
No,
Right.
the
Now-
committee will be, and then,
These pieces of the puzzle are starting.
okay, and then they'll be dismissed and the board will continue their deliberations on who to choose
I see.
after that.
So that's gonna eliminate the May 20,
Yes.
Third gets
Third.
cut, yeah.
Yeah,
No, May 23rd meeting.
okay,
Does that make sense?
We're just
It
trying to
does.
kill 2 birds with one stone.
and that makes sense to me, I'm just
hey,
saying,
now I like.
let's not take a Zoom option away from a selection or a committee person. Executive session again,
Yeah, the executive session piece,
Right.
yeah.
but don't take that option away.
In
It's,
executive session,
On Wednesday, we'll train everyone on Zoom. Screening committee.
Tomorrow.
yeah,
Wednesday.
tomorrow is only Zoom.
right,
Wednesday.
right, but then when the training's done, they start their
They do all that
screen,
work.
and then they come back
On the 22nd.
on the 22nd and discuss the candidates.
In executive session.
In executive session, you're not gonna talk about it in open.
No, nothing. in-
No,
Yeah, we can't, because there's too much confidentiality.
Right,
yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, we can.
Mm-mm.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, that makes more sense.
Okay. It's all resolved.
Yeah.
She protects you guys.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that will be do we want to start on the 22nd at 6 or 7? We should probably start at 6, because we maybe
Yeah, I think 6.
we'll change that to 6.
And Heidi, what's this 9 o'clock in the morning? thing? I'm not saying anything after.
It's probably just the way I put it in my phone, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you know, if you put that in like at a different time zone, it'll revert it. It happened to me the other day, I called everyone and it wasn't there.
Oh, I have done that like on a ship, I put, yeah, that's,
Yeah,
that's
true.
okay. this is-
Okay, and. All right, so now, you have a copy of the survey, correct? Yeah, survey results.
Yes.
Robert, do you want mine? I can.
You know
put
what?
mine online.
I have it on
it up
my
here.
screen ready to share.
Oh, that'd be great.
But
Robert, you want a paper copy?
Sure. Thank you.
Well, that's the committee.
You can read all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the committee, sorry. I lied, but there you go.
There's food on
Okay.
it. There's food on it.
Oh, is there?
That's okay. I'm kidding.
It's snacks for
Let's
later.
all use it.
I should have left you more.
Numbers have way better than me on which one is.
They don't know.
You good, Diane? Now I can see your hand. Do you have a question?
I'm seeing I've shared, hang on. Uh, You see it?
No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
There it is.
All right. Okay, can you just make that just a little smidge larger?
I'll try. Well, it's a PDF.
Okay,
If you just can scroll.
I think you might be able to hit a plus button. The view.
Yeah, down in the far right-hand corner.
There you go, perfect, perfect. Okay, so there was 192 people completed the survey, which is a lot for a community your size. That's a very strong result. So and a lot of interest in this in the survey, and the majority being parents and community members. So next page. Okay, scroll down. This is the actual numbers there. So you can see 56% were parents involved. 46 teachers, 28 classmates. All right. Next page. So this question, we wanted to see if people that participated were people that were long-term in the community or less than long-term, and as you can see, more than 10 years. So these are people that have been here a long time. We're answering these questions. And go ahead and scroll down what percent. That looks like it's definitely over 50. So it is, yeah, 50%. Yeah, 97 people. Okay, go ahead, go to the next one.
That's nice though, because
Yeah.
50% is less than.
Okay, so one of the things that we like to do is have people rank where people feel like we need to work on in the community right now. And this question asks about culture. So bringing people together, working to achieve a great result. All of these things are important in culture, but some are more important than others right now in this time and space. And the one that ranked the top, if you scroll down, we can see the actual, there it is, listening and communicating effectively. So that got the highest rank there. And as you can see, the number one means 56 people. There's a point to it right here. 56 people said that was the most important. And also important, right here, providing support to students was also higher, but more people had listening and communicating effectively as the top value thing to work on right now. So as you read through the documents, okay, as you're looking through someone's cover letter and their resume or their letters of recommendation, be thinking about and looking for evidence that the person is a strong listener, communicator. So that's important. All right, go to the next one. Making quality decisions is also central to being an effective leader in the area of decision making. Again, ranking, and the top one, go ahead and scroll down, is identifying the problem to solve. And that one was ranked pretty high. That was the top one. So that's the whole notion of common sense and being able to think through issues effectively. Okay, next. In the area of leadership, what got the highest ranking, go ahead and scroll down, is having a strong vision, mission, and values. So someone that's familiar with strategic planning, being able to identify what the district is all about and working toward that. Okay, next we have management. So in this question, they're asked, they rank the top 5, and the number 1 highest result was organization, communication, and follow through. So that was. This one got the highest ranking of all the different rankings we've had, over 107 people, but that is number 1. So. Again, when you're looking through someone's paperwork, does it look organized? Are things spelled correctly? Is, you know. How's that material looking? Okay, next. All right, so this question, what you're looking at 4 different things and what's important to work on first, and they have to put these in order. And the one that scored the highest on that weighted average was coming together to work as a united team. That was number 1. With 74 people having, that's the most important thing to work on right now. So again, this helps us design questions for the interviews. This helps us look at their materials. Is this person good at building teams, working with teams? Have they worked with teams in the past? That sort of, those sort of questions. All right, next. Go ahead and scroll down, Diane. There's 3 more. Okay, we got 2 more questions. This question, everything on this list is important, but some things are more important than other right now for characteristics, looking for the superintendent, as you look at materials and select. So working to build relationships and connections with staff and students, that was number 1.
Yeah.
Followed by the ability to have difficult conversations. So there's kind of an interesting juxtaposition, right? So you want someone that can get along, but also be able to have hard conversations. And then ability to lead, facilitate, and implement. So get the job done. So those are your top 3. And then the instructional leader component. And then creating, a really good work environment. So. Again, this will help us with questions. This will help you as you screen. And the last one. Is related to management. Okay, so I think. So this is management. If you can scroll down, we'll see the different choices. Hopefully. And there you go. Okay. So transparent, open, honest communication is number 1 by far. That was selected the most, followed by following through with decisions and commitments. And then supporting staff with students who are struggling behaviorally. So that's really specific and a real need in schools today. How can we help kids that are struggling? All right, I believe that's That's the survey. So now the survey also has some specific open-ended questions. And we'll use that data in later parts of
I
the
didn't
search.
think for sure.
Okay. So as we move along in the search, we
I
will,
wanted to see what other.
we'll keep using this. So this is why you did a great job getting your community input on the survey, and now you can see the benefit of having this data. And one of the activities we do is we provide a copy of this to your people as they get to the finals, and we ask them like, how would you, look at this data and tell us what you learned from it, and give us your plan of action if you were to be superintendent. What's your 100-day plan? So,
It's really good practice for the final candidates to provide a 100-day plan.
Excellent.
The initial round of interviews is not as deep. So the questions will be more communication. We won't go as deep as the second round, but the second round, when you get that 100-day plan, you'll get a really, really strong idea of who they are and how they plan to come into your community and what they plan to do. And then, when you select your superintendent, you have their 100-day plan goals. And you can hold them accountable. You can use that plan and say, how are we making changes? So it really will support a lot. This.
all right. So the next part of the training is the rubric. I made a copy. This is a rubric that we'd like you to use to score the applicant files. There's 5 areas: cover letter, resume, reference letter, letters of recommendation.
Yep.
And then open-ended question responses, and then community fit. So.
I think we're on.
You get to play.
Hey now.
We don't have to send the training on Wednesdays.
No, it's, you get the keys of the kingdom on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, so this is this rubric is, as you read the things, you're gonna score each element. And because, you've got a pool, you have a pool of people of 14, which is more than we originally thought you'd get, so that's good.
Yeah.
It's gonna take,
Gonna be
when you think of reading through, if you just read through someone's materials, it might take you 20 to 30 minutes per person, right? So you can see the hours start to add up of how much time you need to set aside to do this, because it's always thinking about things. And so, my recommendation is that you read through first the cover letters of everyone, and just get a good feel for that. And then read through the resumes. And then the people are gonna start to like differentiate themselves a little bit. And then once you've done that, you can kind of like dig to those other areas with the ones that you're the most compelled by. And then you can circle back. But I'll show you what your spreadsheet looks like now. I believe, how many of you have actually gone to it yet? Okay, here's your hand. Meryl,
What did we do?
did you get to see the spreadsheet of all the things?
The candidates.
Did you make it to the spreadsheet?
I read a couple of cover letters.
Okay, then you got it to the spreadsheet. That's good. So.
I will say that this is being recorded, so probably not sure.
No, I'm not gonna
Okay.
share your sheet. But it's really clear, Glenn. When you haven't seen it yet, but I shared it with you, so if you go to it, you'll see it. That for each letter and person, there's a little number right after a name, and you just score. And then it all adds, the spreadsheet's all built, it adds itself and everything. So, and so that's a process I would say, read everyone's cover letter and see where think about what you're looking for. about the survey, about, is that person a good match, and then dive into their resumes, and then that's gonna kind of differentiate where you need to go next with looking at letters and then the essay questions, yes.
So would you recommend like reading all of the cover letters first and then going to the resumes, or just taking a name and doing cover letter resume?
I would recommend, each of you might be able to say what you think, but I would recommend looking at all the cover letters first, because you're just kind of like,
So then you know how to
you're
compare
just
them all.
thinking of it, yeah. And then look at the resume, and then you go back, oh yeah, that was that person. So you're gonna have to, like, as you sort these people out, be thinking again in terms of, yes, I really want to meet this person. Or I'm not too sure whether or not they're a good fit, or no, definitely not. So you kind of like think of that in 3 terms. At the very end of the spreadsheet, there's a column that says invite to interview. And that's a very important decision. And that says, yes, invite to interview, no, or I need more information. And then, with each of you doing that, plus all the screeners, we're gonna get a lot of rich information about who to invite. And that's where that discussion will come in, is we'll have all this data and you'll be able to see, boy, this group of people, these candidates are like, everyone wants to talk to them, or these candidates are mixed. These people aren't really interested. And then we'll come to that decision on who gets to come to the party next.
Do they have letters of recommendation in this?
Yeah.
Those will give you some insight too.
Yeah.
Reading between the lines on those letters, is really gonna be critical too. I haven't dug into them yet. I do the opposite of what Rod recommended.
You read across.
I read across and I make notes, but that's me. And
Yeah.
it doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you do it. Although I do have to say, I've
Yeah.
been going through and just reading cover letters. I really focused on cover letters and also the narratives. Do they bird walk, or, I kind of look at that, and then when I go deeper, those letters of recommendation are very telling.
Is the cover letter generic, or is it specific to your
Hey,
district?
it takes lots of time.
It takes lots of time.
Yes, it's very time.
Cover letters 4 pages long. I think, I want to sit through a board meeting every month with somebody that takes 4
Well,
pages.
They might not be a good fit. They might not be a good fit, right? So,
But some have big stories
It
to
was
tell.
1 page, it was nice.
yeah, there you go.
And that's important to think about.
I would say I've probably spent like 4 or 5 hours reading on it, just doing a lot of reading at the airport.
So that's kind of the part where I would like some more input from you guys on is, you're the professionals, you said the word bird walk or something. I mean, like, you're the ones that can say, oh, you would notice a discrepancy, or you might notice something that me as a layperson and it, wouldn't see. And so that's where I feel like it would be great to.
Yeah,
get-
yeah, we'll give you that information, but we don't wanna give that information before you've had a chance to look yourself.
Oh, no, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Is that the kind of thing you would give us during the screening committee
On that Wednesday.
on the 22nd?
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys are gonna scrutinize.
Yeah. if
Yeah.
you're
Oh,
going
yeah,
south,
well-
we're not gonna let you go south.
We are going to put the hours in with you as well, so. You are not alone.
So you guys are vested in finding the right person for North America?
Yes,
Yes,
Oh, okay.
we don't want to do this again.
Okay, okay. So you guys are part of the community as well?
no,
Oh, okay.
no, you hired us,
Okay.
but your success is our success.
Okay.
Because if we don't do a good job, then you'll tell people, those guys didn't know what they're doing. But if we do well, then you'll tell other people. I mean, that's why we're here, is because you heard about the searches we did other places, so, yeah, no, your success is our success, so we definitely want you to pick someone that you feel great about, who will do great, so.
I would suggest really looking at your survey and getting very familiar with your survey and the comments, and look at that. And look at your cover letters, your resumes, and your narratives in light of what your survey is talking about.
Yeah.
And that will really help you.
I'm old school. I like to get the hard copy and then I take a highlighter. And,
So we all do it differently.
and I'll highlight like off the survey, the hot things, good communicator, or from the reference letters
Right.
that other people sent, and they're talking about the candidate. So you can pull out those key phrases when you're reading through those letters.
So when you're looking at reference letters, if they're very general, that's what I was talking about before. Oh, this is very general. Yes, they worked here, you know, they did their job. Or is there more detail? That gives you some insight when kind of reading between the lines, if you get that feel for
Or
that
some
person.
specificity of experiences or.
Right, or it was just, you know, John Smith was a great guy, worked here for, 6 weeks and had to leave.
Well, I will say, in doing, I read the survey extensively and then starting to read already. I have been comparing
There you go.
the survey piece to the pieces in the resumes and seeing if there is a match through those and where,
But
you wanna
don't
look
forget
at those.
when we interviewed you, I took copious notes and there were some, what you're all looking for as a board is as important,
Yeah,
which much of it aligned with the survey.
All right, so we have just one last piece of the training is just a little short video on how do you overcome unconscious bias in interviewing and hiring? We're all subject to bias because we're human, but this little video just gives us a few tips about things to be aware of as you begin this process. So hopefully everything on this will work. And no, not yet. Okay,
Speaker,
yeah, I'm not supposed to use sound though, right? No. Yeah. So could I send you this link? Would that be the best way then? You know what? I can just send this little video to you. I'll make it part of this thing. So, it's 4 minutes. It's very exciting. She talks with an English accent.
I would think it's really important though to watch that video. It's 4 minutes that when you're reading and when you're looking at people, you don't know, you may know some of these folks or you may know of them. It is really, really important. And I would to really understand your unconscious biases and think about that. Oh, am I, please.
Like I'm a Beaver fan and they went to the University of Oregon. They're at the bottom.
Aware of that. So
I wouldn't be unconscious. I would be a very conscious survivor.
So we'll also send a link to this, but we'll also look at this Wednesday night and when we meet the screening group, so they'll get the full video. All right, and that's what we had for you tonight.
So you'll send this to us.
Yeah, I'll send this to you, yeah.
You were talking about my school.
Oh,
Oh, you're in trouble.
you're. You vacated Pac-12 and they're in the Big Ten.
All right, so
At
this
least
is,
they're in the league.
Yeah.
so here's the main idea of that video is we all have biases that affect how we filter and interpret information. And we often bolster our beliefs by seeking additional information that confirms our way of thinking. So the net effect of these is that we frame a particular issue without fully appreciating other possibilities or perspectives. So our behavioral choices change the quality of our decisions. We're prone to errors in our thinking that prevent us from making the best decision we can. And so there are 3 types of unconscious bias mentioned in the video. This is the trick question. How would they show up in the screening process? So there you go. I'll leave you with that teaser. Look for the 3.
Wasn't that exciting?
All right,
I have a
yeah,
question. Why? It seems like superintendents don't stay very long places. And so the super search is like you're always doing super searches. And so how do you get somebody to stay for longer than like 2 to 5 years? Or is that even a thing?
yeah, I mean, I think we've all been superintendents, we all have our little take on that question, right? So I was superintendent in Lebanon for 9 years, and that was, you know, that's above average run,
Yeah.
right? Think,
You were how long?
you know,
8 years.
8 in Harrisburg,
I was 5.
so, you know, the average is in big cities is less than in smaller places. In smaller cities, there are, you know, I know there's superintendents right now that have been, you know, the superintendent Powers has been there 18 years, right? And so, you know, there's things, the difference between a long and short run is really the board. Okay, because the board hires and fires superintendents, and if the person is doing the, you know, the job that people want done in the community and that board, you know, stable leadership over time, then that person can be there a long time. If they make mistakes, you know, it's kind of like coaching, right? You know, if your team is losing and bad things are happening, you gotta replace the coach. That's really the only thing the board can do, right? Get a new leader. So, so I think that's some of what happens, you know, that's some of the bias really that sometimes boards have is, you know, the superintendent will get blamed for something that may not be the superintendent's fault, but they'll look for a new one. And every time a new board member comes onto a board, it's a new board. So that superintendent has to work with everyone and get everyone working together, and board turnover is just like in our, you know, they turn over pretty rapidly. So even more so than superintendents.
I share that concern and I read recently about the superintendent for Oregon City Schools, they're 24 years. But I should go up and talk to him.
Yeah.
What made the difference, but when I sat in at the rural caucus meeting last month, out of the 7 that were on the screen, they all said less than 18 months.
Wow.
Yeah, so,
So the common challenge, so I guess, as you say, that's up to us to figure out what we can do better to change that.
There's just so many factors.
It's a tough job,
And
but
it's
you
tough
need
with
to hire
board
someone
changes
who's
every
younger
time.
than me. or it would never work.
yeah, no, it's a hard job, and there's high expectations, and
Yeah.
I think sometimes, you know, it's just not a fit, or you get new people on a board that want to go in a different direction, and so someone's looking for work.
And sometimes superintendents use smaller districts as stepping stones to larger districts.
Yeah.
And that's common too.
Mhm.
I know that districts this size are highly prized, which you'll see by your applicant pool. You have some really strong candidates.
It was more than we expected, really, wasn't it?
And you have some small district superintendents that are wanting to move up
Right.
for this.
I noticed,
Yeah.
I didn't look at very many, but I noticed.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, so no, it's
What that you have such a good pool.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised either. I expect
We're a good
strong
district.
pool. Yep. Yeah, I kind of thought you'd have a really strong pool, and that's great. I've heard of districts who have like, you know, last man standing gets the job. Because it's not.
Really? We go with the island of Survivor.
Yes. So we haven't done any of those searches, but I've heard of some horror stories out there where it's like, well, but yeah, this is a great district. You've got a big job ahead of you, and it's awesome. It's really great.
Okay,
Okay, so we'll, yeah, we'll, send these emails out, get people together, and, Wednesday we'll do our training and we'll meet back here together in person, next Wednesday, the 22nd at 6 o'clock. Is that what we agreed to?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then we'll go from there.
I know it is.
What's next?
And that following Wednesday, we are gonna narrow the list down to 5, 7
Yeah.
is the goal.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, next week, that will be, we'll get all the feedback and then dismiss the screening group and the board will decide who goes for it.
Well, oh, I get one.
Oh.
I'm done.
Will you be kind of monitoring the individual members on the committee, just in that, making if some of them haven't been filling out their forms, kind of reminding them personally, you need to be
Yeah.
helping
well,
them stay on
yeah,
task.
I'll have access,
Stay on
I'll have
task.
access, each person gets their own individual form. Just like you all got one, and then I have access to it, so I can monitor your work on that.
Okay.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, so I have the 15th at 7 PM. The 22nd at 6 PM with snacks. And then I have, I don't wanna double book you. And then I have the 6th and the 30th at 7 PM, or no, 30th during the day, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't decide that yet, but that's something.
Okay, 30th during the day, that's fine, I took a vacation day. Then the 6th is visitation day.
Yeah.
And the 10th is final.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanna make sure I don't overbook
Yeah,
you.
those are all the things.
I'm a hot commodity, I'm just kidding. It's really just work.
I guess you'll let us know the times.
Yeah, do you want me to send you a list?
All right, any other questions?
Yeah.
We're gonna go and then,
Just let me, it's
All right,
fine.
sounds good.
all right,
I'll keep sending out the Friday updates, every week where we're
Yeah,
at.
that's been really great.
Keep all your reminders.
all right, 8:43, I will go ahead and gavel us down, so we are adjourned.